Welcome to the South Ops Fire Weather Webcast for Thursday, August 6th. I'm your host, Kristen Stewart. A fairly deep marine layer remains in place across coastal California once again this morning, despite strong high pressure overhead. Low clouds are covering all of the coastal areas from the central coast to Ventura County, but unlike the last couple days, are noticeably absent farther south. This is probably in part due to the increasing monsoonal moisture across Southern California, which can be noted by the influx of mid-level clouds across portions of the area. The coastal low clouds should clear decently quickly over the coming hours, then skies should be mostly clear again by this afternoon. Though with the increase in monsoonal moisture and instability, there will likely be cumulus buildups across much of the higher terrain this afternoon. We have been talking about this persistent hot and dry weather pattern under strong high pressure for weeks now, and it is still not letting up. As we continue through the first third of August, we will continue to be under the influence of this persistent pattern. High pressure will strengthen a little more over the next couple days as it remains centered around the Great Basin and Four Corners region. This will keep above average temperatures in place, along with low humidity across most of the interior. It may also bring back some monsoon activity to southeast California, but more on that in a little bit. High pressure will finally loosen its grip the second half of next week, finally leading to much-needed cooler relief. Model projections indicate that a troughing pattern may start to develop over the west coast late next week, though confidence on the details remains low, and we will have to wait a few more days to get a better idea of what we will be seeing. As strong high pressure remains in place, temperatures across the region will remain around 5 to 10 degrees above seasonal averages through early next week, with little day-to-day changes. Highs in the mid-90s to around 105 will be common across the valleys, 80s to low 90s common closer to the coast and the lower mountains, and around 110 to 115 for the low desert. Combined with little in the way of overnight cooling for many areas, heat advisories and extreme heat warnings continue through the weekend for a large portion of the region away from the coast. Slow cooling is expected mid-next week, mostly near the coastal areas, though temperatures will remain near to a little above seasonal averages overall. The strong high pressure will also continue to keep very dry conditions in place away from the coastline through early next week. The interior will remain the driest, with minimum humidity largely around the 10 to 20% range each day. We will also continue to see sizable areas of fair to poor recoveries each night across the interior and around the foothills. With the monsoon trying to make its comeback, there is a chance that humidities across the interior of Southern California may be higher in at least the 20 to 30% range at times. The coastal areas will continue to see a shallow marine layer with chances for night through morning low clouds along with much higher humidity each day. As high pressure weakens the second half of next week, humidity across the whole region will begin to improve a little and the marine layer should gradually deepen. Monsoon activity has been pretty absent for the past couple weeks because the high pressure area has been too strong and not in a favorable position for much in the way of moisture transport. With the high pressure centered over the eastern portion of the Great Basin, the southeast flow aloft over California will be a little more favorable for transporting deeper moisture from the adjacent Gulf. However, the positioning is not the most ideal, and the moisture levels and instability are fairly meager, so we are not expecting much in the way of any widespread monsoon activity. We will likely see a return of shower and thunderstorm chances to portions of the Southern California mountains and deserts, and potentially the High Sierra this afternoon, but activity should be mostly isolated in nature and anchored to the terrain. Similar activity is likely to continue through early next week. The way things look right now, thunderstorm activity should be slow-moving and on the wetter side, so we are not expecting any significant fire weather issues, though we cannot rule out fire ignitions from dry lightning strikes on the periphery of storms, especially given the very dry fuels thanks to the recent heat. Fuels remain very dry across the region amidst this hot and dry weather pattern. Dead fuel moistures have fallen to anywhere from the 3rd to 10th percentiles across most of our PSAs, and ERCs have risen to the 90th to 97th percentiles, and even some cases above the 97th percentile. The heat and dryness are definitely taking a toll on our live fuel moistures as well, leading to very high background fire danger across the region. Given the hot and dry conditions alongside critical fuel moistures, our burn environment will remain very active away from the coastal areas. There will remain a substantially elevated risk for new large fires and active burning on existing fires with a persistent weather pattern, despite the lack of wind. Any well-aligned starts will have the potential for significant growth, especially in the afternoons. The extremely active overnight burning that we saw on the Gan fire recently the past couple nights is clear evidence that our fire environment is fully capable of supporting major fire activity, and that potential will continue to become even greater until cooler weather and/or beneficial moisture arrives. And that's all I have for today. Thanks for tuning in. Our next webcast will be on Friday, August 7th. Have a fantastic day.